Hello and welcome to the Dominion Daily for May 7th, 2025. We've got a very adventures looking kingdom, although also got some alchemy in it. And we've got peasant, so that's always a priority. Apprentice trashing, also potentially miser thinning. Inheritance. Okay. Port for plus actions, gear, storyteller, draw, and then, of course, the peasant line can potentially give you all kinds of things, but let's see. Plus by is just messenger and peasant. And no gainers. Okay. So we're definitely going to want to open with a peasant. If it wasn't for peasant, I'd be thinking about ferrying apprentice, but we definitely want to open with a peasant. And there is also inheritance. So actually trashing our estates is not as appealing as it might otherwise be. That being said, there is cursing on the board with familiar, and miser is pretty bad at thinning copper, although apprentice isn't that much better. We actually have potentially quite a lot of terminal space to work with here, so miser over apprentice for copper trashing might be reasonable. Not in the opening, of course, but at some point. I mean, right now I'm thinking we open gear peasant. I think in terms of inheritance, we can't inherit gear. The frickin' errata. Because that's really what I would want to inherit. Right, because inheriting port is a good option, but it is a little bit unfortunate that if you inherit port, then you buy an estate, you don't get two estates the way you get two ports, which is why I would overall prefer to inherit gear. But I guess probably that means we either go for port or possibly messenger. If we don't want to bother to have to gain a messenger the normal way, we could go with messenger. I guess it might depend on how long it takes us to hit inheritance. We do need to think about playing with familiar, but I don't want to open potion peasant. I don't think that makes sense. I guess, a thing you could do, again, if peasant wasn't on the board, would be to open potion fairy. But I'm not going to skip peasant for that. I think I'm going to just go gear peasant and then kind of see where we go from there. Wonder if they have a 2-5. Treasure what? Treasure trove? I could see playing with treasure trove at some point here. There is storyteller, but now? What? Okay, well, we do have 2 terminals in our deck, and we have 4 right now. I think that means we're taking a port. Next turn, we're probably taking another gear. The fairy thing, we do want to probably take advantage of that at some point, but yeah, I don't know. There's too many things that we want to do. Okay, so is it more important that we turn our peasant, push our peasant up the line, or that we play our gear? Think about... So if we play the gear now, obviously the peasant will miss the shuffle, but so will the gear and an estate. Buy another gear. have 7, 8, 9, 10. A 10 card shuffle with 2 ports and a gear in it. Hmm. Yeah, I would have obviously preferred to see the gear turn 3 so that this wouldn't be an issue, but alas. The other thing is, if we play the peasant, we could buy another peasant. And we do have the 2 ports, so we'd be in a reasonable spot to be able to play all that stuff the next shuffle. But it's obviously not guaranteed. Wait, it's not a 10 card shuffle. It's the 7 cards over there, 3 coppers, and an estate, an 11 card shuffle. Well, 12 actually if we buy gear. Anyway, awkward. And the other question is, which of these is going to help more with us hitting inheritance? Probably playing the gear. Yeah, I think that might be important enough that I'm willing to delay the peasant a little bit. Unfortunately, we didn't see the other gear here. We do have port gear down there, so it's not a bad spot. I'm thinking we just go peasant port here. We could get a storyteller. But I do want another peasant anyway. We've got the plus buy. Maybe they're planning to do just like apprentice golds with the treasure trove or something. I don't know. So what we could do here is set aside the port. Stop here, get another gear, set aside the port. We do have 2 more ports down there, but the odds of us doing anything exciting this turn aren't that good. But the odds of us hitting inheritance next turn off of this should be quite good. I mean, setting aside the estate doesn't help as much, admittedly, but well, yeah, we could go port copper and get a peasant. Assuming we see a port and a gear next turn, we're gonna have, well, we don't need to see, we have this port, so we'll have a 7 card starting hand. This port will draw a card. So we'll have 4 cards left down there. 2 ports and another gear down there. So if we see any of that stuff, we're basically guaranteed to draw the rest of our deck. Soldier gives us 2 coins. Peasant gives us a coin. And then we have the 4 coppers. So we'd have to see like all of our stuff. Yeah, I think it's better to do this. What? Oh, they apprenticed to gold. Are we gonna want to set anything aside? Sure. We've seen all three of our estates. We have the peasant down there. Dang it. I mean, we could set aside a copper. Wait a minute, I'm confused. We had last turn, did we not? Oh no, because we did set aside a copper. Right. Okay. Yeah. Probably. Correct. All right. And yeah, I think we're just going to keep it simple and inherit port. All right. Can we find a gear? No. Cool. We have a lot of terminal space to work with. We could just go double gear. We could messenger ports and they wouldn't get any. Only thing is, it doesn't really do a whole lot. I mean, it's fun. Huh. I mean, I guess the one thing is, if we do have time for teacher, which is unlikely, but if we do, then all these ports mean we can put plus card on it and have just like so much draw. I'm willing to go for that, I think. We have plus buy here. And we're not close to triggering a shuffle. I think I'm gonna hold off setting anything aside here. Although, actually, we got the messenger that we can discard the rest of our deck. I'm wondering if we just set aside some copper. If 7 coins in hand without the copper, I mean, that's a pretty good amount of money anyway. They do have 3 apprentices, but they also have this treasure trove and no gears. I am wondering if we should get a potion now. Alright, so what do we have down there? We don't have any gears. So we probably do want to discard the deck. And then we can't get... We can't get potion and 2 gears, which is what I would like to do. But we're also not close to drawing our deck. We could just buy 3 gears. We don't think we need yet another... So we have fugitive, 2 soldiers, and a peasant. We're going to upgrade all of that. We still have a messenger in our deck. So we don't necessarily need more buys, but it would be nice to stick with having a third buy. So we could go like gear, peasant, potion. I mean, the soldiers are going to become fugitives. Our draw is going to get better this coming turn. We're on track to be able to get... Do they have another soldier? Maybe they do. Yeah, they do. Okay, well, we're not necessarily on track to get 4th disciple. Still think one more peasant. Yeah, let's get the potion, I think. We're gonna need to get a storyteller at some point, too, or an apprentice, or both, but... Oh, they trashed the treasure trove. Okay. Yeesh. Where is our other stuff? I think I'm going to go ahead and set this aside, considering I have no... Okay, maybe we're just drawing deck here, actually. We're close to it. Disciple the soldier or the peasant? Well, the soldier, we don't need the money, so I guess we disciple the peasant. Alright, we're taking a familiar. And then just another gear, probably. Probably. And then, obviously, we're going to get another disciple and another disciple. There's one disciple left. They don't have a fugitive, so we win the race to get that one. And we've got another peasant from the disciple, so we might as well turn this one into a soldier. And then the teacher... Yeah, I'm not really feeling the need for teacher right now. Once we get the quad disciple control, maybe, but not right now. All right, do we just go ahead and disciple this port? We do have 3 disciples. Wait, they're trashing estates even though their estates are ports? Interesting. Makes more sense to trash actual ports, although maybe they don't have any? I don't know. But yeah, I think we want to make sure that we draw here. Okay. I'm disciple the gear, but not set anything aside because I don't want the disciple out. Yikes. Oh, I should have discarded this onto the top. I just clicked this without thinking. Stupid. Well. Oh no, wait, this isn't scavenger. That wouldn't work. I mean, I still should have done it because it would have increased my odds of finding another gear, but... Speaking of which, I guess that's reason enough to discard deck here. Well, plus we have 2 disciples that aren't in the shuffle. Okay. We'll take one more familiar. And then... Oh, we didn't find the fugitive either. That's annoying. I mean, it probably won't matter, but... We have 6 coppers here. Wait, we can't undo that? How is that an info undo? feel like we might be able to get the miser thing to work now. I'm wondering about going peasant miser. Turn this peasant into a soldier, and then we have 2 soldiers. And then one of them can potentially go up if we do want to take the teacher at some point. I mean, I don't know, but... Oh, Disciple Familiar is pretty nice. I'm not really specifically looking to Disciple Fugitive, but let's help us get through the deck. It's not like we need the plus actions. Well, better Fugitive than Port anyway. But not better than Gear. Right. We have 1 Disciple down there. I think ideally that goes on the Gear anyway. Alright, we'll set aside some copper. Oh, just 1. Guess we decline again because I'm gonna play the... I mean, we want to get another familiar? Maybe we set aside Copper Potion and don't bother with another familiar. We do have another Disciple in those 5 cards, and we also have states, so I'm not going to discard here. Alright, so what are we doing with our travelers? The Fugitive is becoming a Disciple. We could turn 1 soldier into a Fugitive and then plan to swap into teacher next turn if we don't think the game is going to be over, which it's getting to that point. Like, we might just buy, like, Gear Estate, Gear, or something. Oh, no, we only have 3 buys. Never mind. Okay. We want at least 1 more gear. I don't know. Like, we could just take, like, Province Estate, take a Distant Lands, take a Storyteller. You're getting 1 Storyteller into the deck. Maybe we go Storyteller, Distant Lands. And that way, like, we can get more of each of these potentially with Disciple. We still haven't gotten any trashing, which is fun. Well, I guess unless you count the Miser. I mean, I guess that's good enough, right? We don't want to trash our estates anyway. Okay, so Fugitive becomes Disciple. Yes, 4 Disciples. Let's go. Soldier to Fugitive. Like getting Teacher at this point is definitely like a because I can move rather than a because I need to move. But also, actually, the soldiers give us a lot of payload with the familiars, right? Yeah, we probably just don't bother. I mean, in theory, it would be nice to like slap like plus coin or, you know, here, or obviously plus card on ports, but by the time we do that, it's like next turn we play the Teacher, the turn after we call the Teacher, and it's going to be like maybe one turn that we actually get value from that. I don't know, it just doesn't seem worth the trouble. Okay, discipling estates is definitely better than discipling ports. No ports to gain, but there are estates to gain. Wow! Well, our deck is not reliable. Okay. That is impressive. We never bought Fairy, did we? Oops. We could Messenger Gears, I guess. And then there's 2 empty piles, and we're up on points. They don't really have the ability to threaten another pile either. Yeah. All right, do we want to disciple Familiar? Gear would obviously do more. I think, would I rather disciple Familiar or Estate is one question. Well, we have more estates, slightly more estates in the deck that we can disciple later if we care about that. I guess Familiar. All right. Now, would we rather, like, Gear? Discipling Gear does mean draw more cards. But on the other hand, we saw like 5 coppers last turn, so we've seen almost all of our stop cards. I'm going to disciple the Familiar. I guess we're playing the Familiar. Alright, we could charge up this Storyteller. I don't want to play the Soldier yet. I guess we could just go Messenger Peasant. Do have 2 Disciples in those cards. Are there 21 cards in my discard pile, though? That is confusing. Because I like trigger. Oh, okay, we had 2 gears and we played a whole bunch of ports. Yeah, I guess. There should be another Disciple down here, though. So or not. We might actually run out of actions here. Still gonna wait a little bit on this. Okay, there's a port. Alright, got enough stuff. We can set aside some copper. Just disciple the gear. Oh, curses are down to 2. Oh, there's probably a win. I think we've played all of our familiars, but we can just buy the rest of the curses. Okay, well, that's nice. Sure, let's disciple the gear so that we can do the very exciting thing. Oh, we can have 2 more disciples down here. Wait, we'd only played 2 disciples this turn? Incredible. Thought I'd played a 3rd one. So now we can get an extra distant lands. Very exciting. And we don't actually have the actions to play all this stuff if we gain another thing. So I guess we'll play a soldier twice and have a bunch of money. That we mostly can't use. This miser set aside 1 copper. I guess I wasn't expecting to pile the curses this quickly. Oh, we can messenger curses. Whoa. Yeah, so that didn't exactly go how I was expecting it to. But yeah, I mean, I think you could definitely make the case that it would have been better to get an apprentice and like do some thinning, but I don't know, it just didn't feel necessary. Of course, if if they'd been playing with familiar, we might have wanted to do that, but getting familiar early wouldn't have made sense, and then they opened treasure trove for some reason, and yeah. I mean, even if they wanted to do this apprentice treasure trove thing, surely you open with apprentice, not with treasure trove. Like, what? Apprentice peasant, that's a good opening. Like, yeah, you want to inherit whatever, but like, apprentice is gonna help you cycle. Yeah, I don't know. It's quite strange to me. When they wait, I thought they trashed their treasure trove. Did they get a second one? Oh, they did. Man. And then they didn't get storyteller too. Like, I don't. What is the game plan there? Like, I could definitely see going for this stuff and having it work out, but the way that they went about it does not make sense to me. Yeah, I don't think I I played this particularly optimally, but like it never felt like it was going to matter really what I did too much because they opened treasure trove, which is insane. Like, and obviously we didn't need to play with distant lands. We didn't need to play with miser. Just like kind of messing around a bit. I mean, I do think that distant lands, at least, there might be a case for in like the best possible deck because of the disciple thing. Like you can get a bunch of them going, like, and like distant lands is slow, but it's less slow if you like disciple it, gain another one, and then play it the same turn. Although, as disciple targets go, it's for the most part not the most appealing because you're not really taking advantage of the fact that you play it twice because playing it twice doesn't do anything. So it's more like using specialist. But from a scoring standpoint, it's still like pretty good, right? Like if I double play like a soldier and get a bunch of money from that, I'm not going to do much better with that money from a scoring standpoint than buying a distant land. So, but also like we could have literally just won off of like the curse split. Like we didn't need to take literally any points, right? Like we had this right here. And we did buy an estate, I guess, at the end. But like, just the 3 starting estates, even discounting the one we discipled for, and then a curse is positive VP, and they had negative VP, so we didn't need any VP. Which makes it, obviously a little hard to say like what it would be like if you were playing in a game that was closer and, both sides had reasonable shot to win. But anyway, yeah, well, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.